And let me ask, what is your current occupation?
I'm a federal drilling rig inspector,
With what agency?
Bureau of Offshore Energy Management Regulatory Enforcement.
You characterize your mindset and practice when you would go out as an individual, as a representative of the MMS, to perform one of these inspections on board a rig such as the Horizon?
Like any given day, there's 5,000 people in the Gulf of Mexico. I care about them, and I want them to go home safe. I want them to go home with their fingers, and I want them to go home to their families. It's very, very much prevalent on my mind all the time.
As I heard your testimony earlier about these inspections that you performed on board the Horizon in February of 2010 and again in March of 2010, at no time did you find any violation of any applicable code of federal regulation. Is that right?
I don't recall, but the paperwork does not show that.
If you had found an incident of noncompliance in association with your examination and inspection of the Horizon in February of 2010, would it be indicated on this form that we've marked as Exhibit 4121?
Yes, it would.
Okay, and is there any such incident of noncompliance marked on Exhibit 4121?
No, sir.
Now, as I understand it, at any given time, as the federal authority inspecting this drilling structure, you would have the authority to actually shut down drilling operations. Is that right?
That's correct.
And I take it over your 25 years of experience, you have not hesitated, if the circumstances warranted, to actually shut down a rig if it presented a safety hazard to people or the environment. Is that right?
That's correct.
At no time during your February or March inspections did you observe any well or rig condition that would have warranted, in your mind, shutting down the rig, would you not?
No, sir.
All right. You have not hesitated to give inks when the crew did not appear to be either properly trained or competent to respond to a well control event?
No hesitation.
All right. And in this instance, based on the multiple times that you observed the crew, you did not see anything that gave you cause for concern that they were not well trained and competent to respond to a well control situation?
That's correct.
You know Jimmy Harrell, the OIM?
Yes, sir.
All right. Based on your personal experience of Mr. Harrell, did you feel that he was a knowledgeable and capable OIM?
Yes, sir.
Did you have any concerns that Mr. Harrell was not safety conscious and out to protect his crew, those aboard the rig, and the environment?
Yes, very conscientious.
All right. Did you ever observe anything from looking at the documents that were aboard the rig or observing the crew in action, so to speak, that gave you any concerns whatsoever about Mr. Harrell's competency and conscientiousness?
No.
Did you know a driller by the name of Mr. Dewey Rivette?
If he was there, yes, I would have known him, yes.
But as we sit here today, do you recall a driller by the name of Dewey Rivette?
Correct.
Based upon what you recall of Mr. Rivette, did you feel as though he was properly trained and competent to act as a driller aboard the Deepwater Horizon?
Yes, sir.
Did he exhibit to you any characteristics that gave you concern from a standpoint of a conscientious competency level to respond to a well-controlled situation?
No, sir.
If he had, you would have noted that?
Yes, sir.
Same questions for Mr. Anderson. Do you know Mr. Anderson?
Mm-hmm.
You do? That's a
Right.
yes?
Yes, sir.
All right. Same questions insofar as Mr. Anderson was concerned. Did you feel he was trained and competent to respond appropriately to a well-controlled
Yes, sir.
situation? Do you know Mr. Randy Ezel?
Yes, sir.
Same questions with regard to Mr. Ezel. Based upon what you saw and observed of Mr. Ezel and reading the reports that he was involved with, did you feel that he was properly trained and competent to respond to a well-controlled event?
Yes, sir.
Did you have any hesitation at all insofar as what you observed of Mr. Ezel, Mr. Rivette, Mr. Anderson, or Mr. Harrell that would lead you to believe that they would not respond quickly and conscientiously in connection with a well-controlled event?
No, sir.
Let's talk for a moment about the BOP. What documents in particular did you review insofar as BOP connection with maintenance, operation, or testing?
The BOP test charts.
All right. And the results of those testing that was performed as evidenced by the charts is indicated on Exhibit 4126 and 4121. You record those results in the BOP test section?
Yes, sir, I did.
Did you look at the alarm and gas system aboard the Deepwater Horizon?
Yes, sir.
Tell us what you did in that regard.
I request that they activate the alarm using either a powdered or an inert gas. I'm not certain what they were using. And make sure the alarms would go off, and then I would visually go look at the system to make sure that it hadn't been tampered with.
All right. And as part of your inspection and actually watching the operation of the system, were you aware of any anomalies or deficiencies associated with either the alarm or the gas system?
No, sir.